but I want to talk about another difference maker in this game, Victor Wembanyama. We call him the alien. He was otherworldly today. Difference maker is an understatement, Steve.
Did we just witness the start of the NBA's next great rivalry? Oklahoma City was 24-1, riding a 16-game winning streak and favored to cruise to the NBA Cup. Then Victor Wembanyama returned, and the entire narrative flipped instantly.
Watched by Caruso. Wembanyama got it back, fires, hold it, drop.
The Oklahoma City Thunder weren't simply beaten in Las Vegas. They were humbled. For weeks, Oklahoma City had looked untouchable, a machine built on relentless pressure, suffocating defense, and the quiet confidence of a team that already knew how games were supposed to end. They arrived in Vegas riding a record-tying 24-1 start, powered by overwhelming blowouts and just enough late-game execution to finish off anyone who dared hang around. In NBA Cup play, they were flawless, going 5-0 with an average margin of victory approaching 25 points per game. That figure was inflated even further by their demolition of the Phoenix Suns in the quarterfinals, a 49-point evisceration that stood as the most lopsided result in the league all season. This Thunder team had turned dominance into routine. Pressure led to turnovers. Turnovers led to avalanches. Games ended early. The San Antonio Spurs, meanwhile, took a far less conventional route to this moment. San Antonio spent much of the NBA Cup group stage without Victor Wembanyama, their generational centerpiece. Victor missed half of the group games with a calf strain, yet the Spurs still found a way to claim West Group C with a 3-1 record. They officially punched their ticket the day after Thanksgiving with a gritty road win in Denver, a result that quietly hinted at how far this young team had already come. Then came the quarterfinals, and a matchup most assumed would be the end of the road. The Los Angeles Lakers' star power, experience, and playoff pedigree on full display. The Spurs were not supposed to win that game. They didn't care. Los Angeles had no answers for San Antonio's three-guard assault. De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, and Devin Vassell carved the Lakers apart, combining for 63 points on 24 of 43 shooting. It was only the second time all season that all three had been healthy together, and the chemistry was undeniable. Speed, decisiveness, and relentless downhill pressure exposed defensive weaknesses that most teams simply don't have the perimeter personnel to survive against. Most teams. The Thunder, however, are not most teams. Oklahoma City's identity is built on waves, of defenders, of ball pressure, of chaos. They're aggressive without being reckless, connected without being conservative. Their defense doesn't just stop opponents, it suffocates them, shrinking space until possessions collapse under their own weight. Against OKC, shootouts aren't an option. You either match their intensity or you disappear. And yet, before the semifinal even tipped off, San Antonio finally received the news they'd been waiting for. Victor Wembanyama was back. After missing 12 games with a calf strain, the 7'5" phenomenon returned to the lineup. The Spurs had gone 9-3 without him, a testament to their growth and depth, but against the defending champions, even with a strict minutes restriction, they were going to need every ounce of Victor's presence. Listen to the noise before the game, and you would have thought Oklahoma City was inevitable. The Thunder were champions. The Thunder were rolling. The Thunder were supposed to blow this open early and never look back. Turns out, sometimes all you need is an alien. This was supposed to be a blowout. Instead, it became a statement. San Antonio beat Oklahoma City in a game that mattered deeply to both sides. This wasn't just another regular season date on the calendar. There were real stakes involved, with NBA Cup prize money, hundreds of thousands of dollars per player, waiting on the other side. The Spurs played like it. After a rough opening frame, San Antonio took the fight directly to their Western Conference rivals, outplaying the Thunder in every quarter but the first. OKC's championship pedigree meant nothing to Victor Wembanyama or this young Spurs core. They played with zero reverence and complete belief. The crowd inside T-Mobile Arena felt it. This wasn't casual basketball. This was playoff intensity in December. San Antonio opened the night sluggishly. Open looks rimmed out. Three-pointers refused to fall. With Wembanyama sitting the entire first quarter due to a strict minutes restriction, the Spurs quickly found themselves in a double-digit hole. Oklahoma City surged ahead, and it looked like the floodgates might open. Then the second quarter began, and everything changed. Wembanyama checked in to start the frame and immediately rewired the game. In barely 3 minutes, he grabbed defensive rebounds, erased shots at the rim, dove on the floor for a loose ball, and ignited a 9-2 run that sliced the deficit down to 4. Every possession felt different. Every shot looked more rushed. Every drive suddenly had consequences. After that burst, Victor returned to the bench, and almost instantly, Oklahoma City surged again. The Thunder outscored San Antonio 14-4 during the stretch he sat, reasserting their control and reminding everyone just how thin the margin was. That's the thing about Wembanyama. He doesn't just affect possessions. He reshapes the entire game. When he's on the floor, spacing changes. Angles disappear. Decisions become rushed. When he's off, the geometry snaps back into place. When Victor re-entered for the final 5 minutes of the half, the Spurs came alive once more. San Antonio closed the second quarter on a stunning 13-0 run, completely flipping a game that had looked close to lost just minutes earlier. At halftime, the Spurs trailed only 49-46. Wembanyama, in just over 7 first-half minutes, was a ridiculous plus 20. The Spurs opened the third quarter without Victor, but the momentum stuck. De'Aaron Fox attacked early, carving up the defense and giving San Antonio its first lead of the night. A Devin Vassell three pushed that advantage to 62-56, forcing an Oklahoma City timeout and sending a jolt through the arena. From there, the game settled into a grind. The second half became a back-and-forth battle, with San Antonio finding ways to survive even during Wembanyama's rest minutes. Victor logged 13 minutes in the second half and began to show signs of fatigue late, yet remained dominant whenever he stepped on the floor. Oklahoma City responded the way champions do. Their defense tightened. Alex Caruso created chaos, turning stops into instant transition opportunities. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander finished with 29 points, scoring in places where daylight barely existed. Jalen Williams was excellent, consistently punishing mistakes and attacking mismatches. Still, this didn't look like the Thunder team that had dismantled Phoenix by 49. The Spurs refused to let OKC create separation. With just over 5 minutes remaining, Wembanyama checked back in for one final push. The closing stretch was pure tension. San Antonio clung to a narrow lead inside the final minute. The pressure mounted when a visibly fatigued Wembanyama missed a free throw, leaving Oklahoma City needing only one three-pointer to tie the game. Spurs head coach Mitch Johnson made a daring decision. With 8 seconds remaining, he intentionally fouled Chet Holmgren to prevent a potential tying three. Holmgren split the free throws, and the final seconds turned chaotic, a parade to the line punctuated by frantic scrambles and desperate rebounds. Oklahoma City nearly pulled off an intentional miss-and putback at the buzzer. Caruso got a hand on the ball. It rolled off the rim. Final score, Spurs 111, Thunder 109. Wembanyama's presence defined the night, but this wasn't a one-man show. Stephon Castle, De'Aaron Fox, and Devin Vassell all delivered when it mattered. Even Luke Cornett, who scored just 2 points, left his imprint with physical defense and timely effort against the defending champions. In a playoff-like environment, especially in a 2-point game, every possession matters. Every loose ball matters. Every small edge matters. While Wembanyama sat, the Spurs understood the assignment. They had to win the possession battle, crashing the glass, forcing turnovers, and turning speed into chaos. With Victor back on the floor, they leaned into the full formula they've been building all season. San Antonio out-rebounded Oklahoma City and dominated second-chance opportunities, scoring 16 points on extra possessions while allowing just 6. Despite committing 19 turnovers against one of the league's most aggressive defenses, the Spurs still managed to win the points-off turnovers battle, 26-25. That detail matters. Turning defense into offense is Oklahoma City's calling card. It's how they bury teams. But not on this night. The Spurs absorbed the pressure, answered every run, and never allowed the Thunder to fully seize control. Their resilience was matched by timely shooting. San Antonio missed its first 12 three-point attempts, digging a 12-point hole early. They didn't panic. They stayed committed. By night's end, the Spurs had hit 13 of their final 33s, a blistering 43%. Devin Vassell led the way, knocking down 4 of 9 from deep. The math told the story. Both teams attempted the same number of free throws. San Antonio lost the turnover battle and scored just 40 points in the paint. In a game like that, the three-pointers have to fall eventually. They did, and that swing decided everything. Experience may still belong to Oklahoma City. Poise on this night belonged to San Antonio. It started with their best player and his perfectly timed return. Wembanyama reminded the world why he's already one of the most impactful players in basketball. The Spurs survived a disastrous start because Victor maximized every second he was on the floor, then transitioned into a more controlled role as the game tightened. Down the stretch, San Antonio made the plays they had to make, snapping Oklahoma City's record-tying start and punching their ticket to the NBA Cup Finals. Coming off the bench for the first time in his career, Wembanyama finished with 22 points, 9 rebounds, and 2 blocks in just 21 minutes. The numbers barely scratched the surface. Once he checked in, Oklahoma City's entire offensive geometry shifted. Shots at the rim vanished. Three-pointers were rushed and lofted. With Victor anchoring the paint, the Spurs amped up their perimeter pressure, swarming ball handlers and forcing mistakes. Inside T-Mobile Arena, an overwhelmingly pro-Spurs crowd made itself heard. MVP chants rained down as the Thunder struggled to contain him. Even on limited minutes, Wembanyama poured in 15 points in the fourth quarter alone. The on-off numbers were blunt. Plus 21 with Victor on the floor, minus 19 when he sat. Think he makes a difference? And he wasn't alone. San Antonio had 4 20-point scorers. Vassell led with 23, while Castle and Fox added 22 apiece alongside Wembanyama. Castle carried over the aggression that fueled his 30-point quarterfinal performance. He attacked relentlessly, driving straight into Oklahoma City's defense and challenging their bigs at the rim. His 2 fourth-quarter baskets were enormous, first cutting the deficit to 1, then giving the Spurs the lead with a powerful two-handed dunk. Vassell's fourth-quarter stretch perfectly complemented Wembanyama and Castle. 2 massive threes, 3 clutch free throws, and strong defensive possessions against Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. When the Spurs needed steadiness, they turned to De'Aaron Fox. Pressure free throws, timely threes, calm decision-making. Fox opened the second half with 3 buckets, while Victor rested and added 5 early fourth-quarter points to steady the game. This wasn't just a win. It was a declaration. We already knew Wembanyama was the future. But what if the future is already here? In a spotlight game against the defending champions, with real money and real pride on the line, this young Spurs core didn't flinch. The schedule alone should have broken them. Over the previous 22 days, San Antonio had played 20 on the road. Since November 20th, they'd played just 1 home game. Las Vegas marked the 10th state they played in, covering more than 5,000 miles. That grind breaks teams, especially young ones. But for one night, with the most alien talent basketball has seen in decades leading the way, the scorching hot Thunder looked human. Oklahoma City led by as many as 16 points, but shot just 41% from the field and a brutal 24% from 3. The loss snapped a franchise record 16-game winning streak. The NBA's best closers were finally closed. San Antonio knew the numbers. They knew Oklahoma City owned a plus 41. 4 net rating in clutch situations. They just didn't care. After the game, Stephon Castle summed it up simply. People say the Thunder are unbeatable, but we come into every game feeling like we're unbeatable too. That's bold talk from a young team. After this night, it might be justified. The Spurs aren't fully activated yet, and they just took down the best team in basketball. Nobody is safe anymore. The NBA may have a San Antonio Spurs problem. And as Victor Wembanyama ramps back up, that problem could become a full-blown crisis.